Hey everybody. Hello, this is Kathy, Northstar Prepsteader. I'm here live from Minnesota on the first day of fall. So we've got somebody already in the chat here. Thank you for coming. Hey Connie, hello, you're the first one. Good evening and welcome to you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much. So, we've got a couple more people in here. Hello, hello, hello. Connie, I have a question. Do you want me to make you a moderator? Are you comfortable with that? Have you ever done it? Okay, super, super, super duper. I'll do that afterwards because some juggling around there, and I don't want to miss you guys. So we'll set you up for next time. I know I've just started doing it too, and it's you get kind of caught up in everything that's going on, and you forget. Oh, I'm supposed to check her trolls. Hey, Grandma Karen, hello. How are you doing? And Christy, hi. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. It's beautiful Monday evening, first day of fall or autumn, whichever one you say. So, yeah, it's great. So glad that you're here. How's everybody doing? We're in Kentucky and California and Oregon. So nobody should be dealing with a hurricane right now, right? So, sorry, a little dry here. You added to your raised beds? Awesome. That's so great. So how many did you have and how many did you add to them? And how tall are they when you build it? So you get lots of rain, okay. We tend to get what you have if it's coming, straight east from you. So depends on how the jet stream is, but we can usually tell we're going to get rain if you guys are getting it. So, hey, Eli, hello. Thank you for coming. Hi, Country Homestead Preacher. Good evening to you, too. So, Eli, you're a sweetheart, too. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate that. I was sitting at like around in the 670, 680, or yeah, right around that for like, oh my goodness, 3 or 4 weeks. And it was just not growing at all. And all of a sudden in the last couple days, I've popped on about an extra 15 subs. So I didn't do anything differently. I don't know what that is, but anyway, I'm glad for them. And I was kind of hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. That was my goal, but we'll see. I've got a little over 300 to go, but I know it can be done, but we'll see. So you have 7 that are 12 by 2 foot. Okay. And now you have 2 tiny ones attaching to them. Okay. 12 by 2, that's an easy size to work with. The 2 foot wide. That's, boy, yeah. I don't recommend people doing 4 foot deep beds just because, unless you're in your 20s or something and you can easily crawl through them and lean over that and all that kind of stuff. But 2 to 3 feet is a good width to work with. Eli, that's cute. 36 inches high, though. That's nice. You can just roll your wheelchair out there right next to it, right? And not have any problem with it. Yeah, mine are about 15 inches high. So they're 2 by 8 boards and they're like a double layer. So, okay. So kind of, they're just just 3 inches shorter than mine, so that's good. Your front yard fence. Hey, that's a great way to do it. Build these raised beds as a landscaping feature, and then you can. That's a great idea. So I should do that through my front yard. Although I've got trees that would hide them or cover them, and the plows coming by just kind of they make a mess of everything. So, but in other areas of my yard, that is a great idea. Hey, Pete's Little Homestead. Hello to you. So Social Blade has their future projection for you in 2 months at 9:07. I have not heard of Social Blade, Karen. Well, thank you so much. In 2 months. So that would be the end of November. So I could possibly do 1,000 by the end of the year. So, oh, oh, Connie, your trellises look like you're a compound. Are you trellises in the front yard too? So, thanks. That's an encouragement. I really appreciate that. So, well, encourage them to help, and they can eat off of your trellises too. You pacify them or something. I don't know. So they're 7 and 8 feet tall. So, good evening, Eli, to everybody, or from Eli to everybody. Yes. Oh, they like it. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. So, well, it sounds like you've got quite a setup there. You've been getting a lot of produce this summer and this fall. So, I just got some wood to add a couple things to my garden. So, hopefully I'll be able to get to it. Fall ends up being so quick and so short. I'm trying to get everything done, and I'm still canning tomatoes today. I put up 9 pints of diced tomatoes. I do kind of like a petite dice. I don't like really big chunks of tomatoes in my stuff. So, but I was out, and the tomatoes that I used were ones that had been somewhat damaged by the hail that we had gotten, and from that, it had bugs and birds and stuff had eaten at some of the others. So they weren't ones that were nice and whole to be able to just core and roast in the oven. I had to actually cut and do a lot of surgery to them because there were a lot of bad spots. So those I like to turn into just diced tomatoes in that way. So, hey Dave, how are you doing? Thank you for coming. Really appreciate that. Yes, you're right, Eli. Good neighbors are a blessing. So, hey Julie, hello. How are you doing? Thanks, Dave. Your stuff is looking great out there. Oh, that's okay, Julie. I appreciate you remembering, but it's not a big deal. Leanna, hello. You made it. Thank you for coming. Yeah, my neighbors. On one side, I have an abandoned church, or an empty old church it's been empty for 20 years. On the east side, or out of my backyard, I have out of a corner of my property, I have a phone building. It's a utility building for the phone company, and so it's just a block building, but behind, so they're like not really neighbors, or really good neighbors in the way that they're hardly ever there, and then they just come and work and leave. So, but right behind them, on the other side of the alley, is another empty home. The gentleman that owned that passed away at least 15 years ago, probably longer. And the his grandson that he willed the house to is in Chicago and never comes up, so that's been empty. Um, then I just have the road on the other side, and the fire hall is out there, and so there's hardly anything ever going on there. Um, so, and then the people across the street from me just moved out last month, I think it was, the renters, and so that's all empty. So I have some very quiet neighbors right now, like no neighbors. And so I really don't have anybody bothering me with my stuff. But anyway, so Julie says you're making maple beans. Ooh, I assume is that like baked beans with maple syrup and stuff like that in there. So, oh, Connie, that's so cool. The pumpkin, that was really nice. You know, Dave, that was somebody did buy it, but he hasn't done anything with it. He bought it 20 years ago, and he was going to turn it into like a hunting lodge because we have a lot of woods just south of town here. That's a big um, like a hunting club type of thing. So he thought, well, that'd be great to have people stay there, and then they could support the and eat at the bar that's in town, and then hunt down there and have a big thing. But it hasn't done a single thing to it, so it's just been left empty. There are holes in the roof. There's windows broken out. I mean, it's in bad shape. It really just needs to be leveled. But so yeah, I mean, somebody'd have to pour in tons of money in it, and it wouldn't even be worth it at this point. There's a lot of living room in there. Yes, there is. Hey, Abiding Acres. Hello. Thank you for coming in. Eli, that's funny. Uh, hey, you're not that old. You're only a year older than me. So, maple bean sounds good. Wild rice and beef. Ooh, that sounds good. Hey, Thrifty VG. Hello from Long Island tonight. Is that work? Is that a trip? Is that visiting somebody, or did you move? Hey, Christy, we're part of the team, right? Maple syrup. Oh, a lot of other goodies. Okay. You know what? I would love to get that recipe. I don't know if you could. Could you email that to me? That would be so great. One of my mods want to put up an email, and Julie, if you could do that, that would be super. I'm always looking for new recipes. I've done. Hey, Northern Ohio Homestead. Hello. So, yeah, it's sad about the church that's just been abandoned that way. I mean, just neglected, I should say, because it was beautiful. I mean, hardwood floors, everything in there. It would have been beautiful. So, you're visiting your sister. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, some of the extra things that I've canned, I haven't filmed them at all because it was the first time I'd done them, and I wanted to make sure that it was going to work out. It was worth it, and you can always can them again throughout the winter. I did barbecued pulled pork, done like a chicken gravy dinner, and really it's like chicken and diced up potatoes and celery um, in water and seasoning and stuff like that. And then when you take it out to heat it up, you just add a little flour, or for me it would be arrowroot, for anybody who's gluten free, and just to thicken it, and then you've got your dinner. I did a sweet and sour chicken, which I'm really excited to try out, and now it's got pineapple in it and everything. So kind of excited to try that one. So Biting Acres. Oh yes, yes, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. So Good subject change here. Good segue. So, thanks, Eli. Does this mean we could date? I'm not moving out of Minnesota though, so sorry. Uh, um, you love pulled pork, yeah. Um, I had gotten a bunch of food on sale, a bunch of meat on sale, and just threw it all in the freezer. And I'm trying to can it up into different recipes instead of just plain chicken and plain turkey and plain beef and plain this. Just have it as a meal. So I'm trying to do that. So, hey, Searching Sabrina, you made it. Yes, you did. Thank you for coming. So you're freezing potatoes and peppers and onions, vacuum sealing them to make it quick for breakfast potatoes. That's a great idea. Just take them out and fry them up, right? Oh, Christy, that sounds great. So, yes, our leaves are changing rapidly here. I have a couple trees that have already lost half of their leaves too. Not only are they changing color, but they're all falling already too. So, does anybody know? And I'm sure most of you guys know, but because I have a lot of smart homesteaders here. What is it that makes leaves and grass and everything green to start with when they grow? So if you can put that up here, I'd love to hear your answers. Yeah, Christy, that's what I'm trying to do too, is get some things going. And, Lisa at Days, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Sutton's Days. She, as she's taking things off the shelf, and like, let's say she does a dozen things of a stew. As she's getting down to like 3 or 4 left, she'll actually can up a whole nother batch of them to replace that. So she's constantly moving it through. So it's not like totally emptying the shelves and then spending 2 solid months canning and putting it back in. So I think that's really great. So yes, Christy, chlorophyll, absolutely. And Julie, you got it. Karen, yep. It has been a long time since school. But it's chlorophyll that makes it green. Yep. And that's what happens when spring and summer comes. And that's the chemical process that takes place and everything. So I'm just going to read this off a little bit. Hope you guys don't mind. But so it says the mixture of red, purple, orange, and yellow in the leaves we have is the result of a chemical process that takes place in the tree as the seasons change from summer to winter. During the spring and summer, leaves have served as factories where most of the foods necessary for the tree's growth are manufactured. The food-making process takes place in the leaf, in numerous cells containing chlorophyll, which gives the leaf its green color. So actually, that process in the leaves helps the tree grow. So if you have a tree early in the spring that gets totally stripped of all its leaves and everything, it could actually kill the tree because that's where they're getting their food from. So it absorbs all their energy from the sunlight and everything. So Eli, you're funny. I'm sorry. I'm jumping back to my chat. I can't be doing that. So anyway, the chlorophyll absorbs sunlight and turns into energy, transforms carbon dioxide and water to carbohydrates like sugars and starch, all that kind of stuff. So that all happens. Along with the green pigment that's in a leaf, we have yellow and orange pigments, carotenes and xanthophyll pigments, which give the orange color, for example, to a carrot. Most of the year though, on the trees, these colors are masked by so much of the green because of the rain and the sun and the summer weather and everything that is just putting all kinds of energy in there. But when we start getting shorter days and the instead of the sunlight being directly overhead or something, it starts coming in at an angle, and the trees aren't getting as much of the daylight that they need. Temperatures drop. The leaves stop making their food or stop their food making process. And then what happens with that? The chlorophyll breaks down, the green color disappears, and then we get all these other beautiful colors from our leaves. Um, so sometimes whatever the other thing that happens then is that the point where the stem of the leaf is attached to the tree, there's a special layer of cells that develops and it gradually severs the tissues, and that's what brings or makes the leaves come off. So anyway, and those are just on what we call deciduous trees. The conifers, which are your pines and evergreens and stuff, they stay green. So anyway, that's my little science lesson for today. All right, back to our chat. uh, Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've had my PO box since I want to say maybe April, March or April. I think something in there, and I haven't gotten any mail. So I'm not begging for any, but I just saying it's there. If you want to use it, you can. Yeah, I actually have went to or last Sunday we had our annual fall dinner at church that we all work, and it's like a Thanksgiving dinner that we put on. I mean, it's turkey dressing, mashed potatoes, tomatoes, corn, all the stuff that's coming fresh out of the garden for everybody. I mean, these are potatoes that people grow, they're tomatoes that people grow. Everything's from our gardens that we put out there, and it's just fabulous. We feed 500 to 600 people, and it's a little itty bitty town. We have a small church too. But anyway, when there's enough leftovers, we we can give a donation and take some home. So I actually took some turkey and some mashed potatoes home. So I was thinking the other day, is like, I need to have some of those mashed potatoes with my pulled pork that I canned over that. So I'm thinking that might be a good meal coming up sometime soon. So your broiler hens are like small turkeys. Oh yeah, time to butcher them. You're not even going to be able to get a hen in your crock pot or anything like that. So you'll have to cut it up. So thanks, Leanna. Yeah, that's, oh, and then on the side I can have my garden carrots, and oh, that sounds pretty good. So yeah, you guys saw my carrot video that I put up this weekend. The other thing I'm going to do is with that, at some point in a couple of months, I'll do a follow-up to see how they are, how they're storing, how they're lasting in there, because I know what the carrots have done for me in the past, the brands and variety that I planted. Last year, the ones I did were, I mean, they lasted like 10 or 11 months in the refrigerator, and it was great. I'm just not sure, especially about the yellow carrots. I don't know about those. I definitely am not going to grow those again, but we'll see how they fare and how they store, because that's something really important to me. It's I don't grow a ton of them, but I grow enough to keep me through the year, and I like to have them fresh. I don't eat cooked carrots all that much. I like to have them raw. So for them to last a long time is really important for me. So, hey, making lemonade from lemons. No, you're not that late. You're here. So we have over half hour yet. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Abiding Acres. I know the lemon or the red ones. Oh, I can't wait. Well, I've already had a few of them, but they're so sweet and they're really good. So maybe the orange is the taste. Oh, Oh, that's an idea, Dave. Hmm, that would be a good, yeah, because the red ones are very, very sweet too, have a very carroty taste in there. But yeah, the yellow ones, I was actually thinking of maybe turning them into a soup, having like a yellow carrot soup, and just blend it all up. And then I can season it like crazy and stuff like that. So I might do that with those. Um, yeah, Christy, someone else was asking me too about starting the carrots, and yeah, for you, probably what you could start them in another month or so, maybe. So you need to make a new storage space for dried goods, canned and fresh stuff. Yeah, I know. I need to rearrange things in my basement for all my the stuff I've canned. I've got them all in boxes right now, so I have to get them on the shelves. And then I will do a video about my canning shelf, so I'll let you guys know my storage looks like and stuff. Oh, well, Julie, where you are, do you get frost, or are you in Southern California? Um, the red ones. Let me see. I sowed them the 1st of June, and they were really ready by middle of August. So that'd be like 75 days, something like that. So making lemonade from lemons. You have red, purple, black, and orange carrots just coming up. Oh, so cool. So is that like your fall garden then? That you planted with those. Last year I did yellow, orange, and purple carrots. It was a packet of all mixed. It wasn't like 3 separate packets, and they all were very good. Even the yellow ones were very tasty. So um, and they all grew great. And it was really fun to have the purple ones because you cut them and they have like this orange ring inside, an orange and yellow ring inside, but they're purple on the outside. And it was just like so cool. So, oh, Searching Sabrina, did she do a music video, Karen? So, um, oh, I didn't see that. I know I'm sub to her, but I wonder if I did not get the notification. I'll have to go look at that. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Leanne, I've got metal and wooden shelves for my canned goods. So so the red might be okay. Yeah, and they, especially Abiding Acres, if they don't do well in a lot of heat. So I think you're in Canada, right? So we get really hot here in the middle of summer, July. I mean, we were hitting 100 degrees, and that's when things were starting to bolt. And so didn't really like that. I think I lost maybe a dozen carrots to bolting, but the ones that did make it through were great. Um, for anybody in the maybe in the U.S. and you don't have as cool a weather, I think. Leanne, I don't know what BRB is. Um, if you planted them and they could get like partial shade um, in the afternoon or something like that, I've noticed that the parts of my garden that this summer, especially like the tomatoes, that would get a little bit of shade in the afternoon, they actually did so much better in the intense heat. So, or if you had some way to cover them, put a canopy over it or something like that. So, oh, that's great. Ontario, okay. July is the hottest. Yeah. Yeah, I know. So rust fly? Dave, I've not heard about that. Oh, right. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna have to watch Sabrina's song then. Searching Sabrina. Yeah, okay. Made a note. Uh well, um, car update. It is in the shop. They started working on it today, and so I'm borrowing one of my brother's cars right now for it. So we'll be in there for about 10 days. Um, yeah, it was not a fun thing. So, but we'll see how it ends up coming out. So they said $10,000 worth of damage. It's two separate claims. So crazy, just within a half an hour of each other. So it was pretty nuts, pretty nuts. My garden is winding down. Really, the only thing left that's producing are the tomatoes. Um, the one that's in my big raised bed, those are doing the best. And yeah, from the deer and the hail, Christy. Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. So the deer hit so hard that I mean, it damaged my front fender and the driver's door, and pushed the light in and broke a bunch of stuff behind that. But the other thing it did, because cars are so computerized and heavy on electronics and everything underneath the hood, that it damaged a lot of other things behind the headlight. And you should have been there, Eli. I would have given you that deer. Um, the One of the things that happened is that the cooling system um, shut down. I mean, I was still able to have the fan going with the air conditioner, but it wasn't cooling anymore. And we just had 2 weeks of 80s and to the 90s. And so it was, yeah, plenty hot with no AC in the car. So that wasn't fun. And now it's down in the 60s and 70s, of course. um, so yeah, I did that. It shorted out all my instruments that need the backlight to them. So I don't have any of that. There's a number of things that it just did some things went haywire on the inside of the car. So it was just kind of nuts. Yeah, and the hail. Oh, the hail was crazy. She had a coyote. Oh, the hardest thing is when if they have all the grass alongside the road, if they let it grow up real high, it's 2, 3 feet high or something, you cannot see the animals running out. It's like all of a sudden they're right there on the road. And if that were kept mowed on the side and everything, you can at least see them approaching. You can see the glare in their eyes or something like that, which would be nice. So okay, Eli, we need to settle down a little bit. So um, hey, Paul, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that. No problem. No problem. I'm so glad that you came in. That's so great. So today is the first day of fall. Yeah, 23rd. That's kind of later. You think it's like the 20th or 21st or something. And I did see on the news last night or a couple days ago, they said that, how we think that right now at the autumnal equinox, that at the equator we have equal days of sunlight and night, so it's like 12 hours, 12 hours. But right now it's like 8 minutes off. It's like still 12 hours and 8 minutes of daylight, and then it's 11 hours and whatever of 52 minutes of nighttime. So, but they said that would even out within like a day or two. So we'll be back on schedule. I don't know how important that is. I don't know how that affects us or anything, but there it is. So, Shelly Hernandez, hello. Thank you for coming. I don't think I've seen you before in my chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, coyotes can be very troublesome. Yeah, it's definitely a choice, Christy. It's like, yeah, you don't need your car damaged up and going into the ditch because of an animal or something. So, anyway, my garden is doing well. Like I said, it's just the tomatoes are still producing well. And I'm going to try to do a fall garden update this week to let you guys know what's going on. Again, for those that miss it, I canned up a bunch of tomatoes and did diced tomatoes today, and I just cold packed them and then put them in the pressure canner. I really prefer that as to having them in the water bath canner, because like 15 minutes, I can cold pack them. 15 minutes are done. It's so quick. It's so much easier. Still not as quick as my tomato sauce, but it was good. Hey, Dave, did you try my tomato sauce process yet? I know you were still going to run it through the mill and everything, but I know you said you were going to try to do that. But okay, that's great. Yep. Yep, making lemonade from lemons. It's just so much easier. 15 minutes in the pressure canner and they're done. So, you just dug up your potatoes. Oh, good. Are you getting rain tonight, Paul, or is that what's coming in the next couple days? Okay. Well, Dave, that's good. 75% done with your harvest. So, are you like saving all your tomatoes then to do at one time, or have you done some already? Hey, Ian, how are you? Thank you for coming. And Bev, hello, another Minnesotan here. Oh, your internet is giving you trouble, huh? You store carrots for the winter with better flavor than store ones. Absolutely. And for me, I grow just the right amount where I can store them all in one of my vegetable drawers in my refrigerator. I just bag them, and if you saw my video, I just put them all in gallon bags and do that. And whatever I don't have room for, I give away. So because I know that drawer full will keep me all year round. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Ian. Thank you. Farm in your backyard. Hello, thank you for coming. Miss T from sunny Nebraska. All right. So you're coring and freezing them at harvest. We'll roast, process, and can all at once. Okay. Just have like a whole long day event of it then. That helps. So Dave, are you planning on pressure canning them or water bath canning or both? If you're going to be canning everything all at once, you're going to have a lot of things going, right? Yes, happy fall, Robin. Thank you. Okay. You guys, I just got last week. Well, I had, I'm a graphic designer, and so one of the printing companies I do business with, I can get, when I place orders from my customers and everything, I can get like points built up for myself. And if I get to a certain number of points, like I think it starts at 2,500 points or something like that. And it's really a point per dollar that the customers spend. Then I can get either a coupon off for printing through that company, or if I start stacking up enough, I can get like Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift card, Best Buy, that type of thing. So anyway, I had a lot of good orders this last year, and I was able to get a $50 Amazon gift card. And then I had another one for $10 from my sister for my birthday. So it's $60 worth of Amazon gift cards, and there's a canner on Amazon that was on sale for $66. And so with tax, I paid $11 for a double stack, a 22 quart canner. And I was like, oh, I finally have mine. So because this year was like up until this year, I've really been okay with not having it. But I was, my bean harvest was so huge, and some of these things were so abundant that I didn't have enough room in my 12 quart canner. So anyway, I was able to get a double decker one. I haven't used yet because I haven't needed it yet, but I've got it, and I was just like so happy to get it. So anyway, that was my goodbye of the week there. Hey, Michigan Daffodil. That's totally good. There's a lot of times I'll just have the either the streams or the videos going, and I'm cooking or doing dishes or canning and stuff like that. So I totally get it. Totally okay. So 10 quarts of dehydrated tomatoes. Ooh. So you cut them up with extra virgin olive oil, dehydrated onions, and some fresh basil, all over cooked chicken. Oh, wow. So you dehydrate do you make them into like slices, dehydrate those, and then you put them in the jars to can them? Or do you store them in the quart jars dry and just leave them that way? Thanks, Robin. Yes, Paul, it was a good deal. Yeah, take advantage of those points. So a lot of times I would take the points and actually get some things printed for myself, which has been really helpful. Get my own business cards or, a portfolio packet or something like that, which has been very helpful. But yeah, this time I was like, you know what? I'm going for the Amazon gift card. I sure could use that. So, hey, Leanna, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and Christy, that's the size I've been using for 25 years and everything. It was just that this year there were several times that I really could have used the 2 layers because I ended up running the canner twice, and it ends up kind of taking a long time. And time is something that I have to streamline a lot in order to get everything done. So Shelley, you dehydrated everything separate and you make it as you need it. Okay, got it. Got it. So that sounds really, really good. So you dehydrate your tomatoes. Are they in full slices? Do you chunk them? And what kind of tomatoes do you use? Are they all like Romas or? Because I've not dehydrated tomatoes before, so that would be very interesting. So Eli, you have 2 All-American 941. Oh, yep. That's great. I know the All-American is like the Cadillac of them, and it's great to have. Maybe someday. So thanks, Paul, for coming in. Appreciate it so much. You have a great week too. Yep, Dave, you have San Marzano. I remember you said, I didn't remember the exact name, but I knew that you had said that you had those. And those are more of a aroma tomato, right? So, you know what? I don't know that I have eaten dehydrated tomatoes. Yeah, I might have to try some of those with some of my tomatoes that are left on the bushes out there. I had talked about this a couple times, I think, in my videos, maybe once on live or something, but Luke at MI Gardener had done a test. He had heard about this, did a test through the summer, and then put this on a video in August. Well, once I saw that, I then started trying that, implementing it with my tomatoes, and it worked. And it was like great. And what that is that as soon as the blossoms form on the tomato plant, especially if you don't have a lot of bees in the area and stuff like that. But you take an electric toothbrush, and right where the blossom, the stem right above the blossom, you put the electric toothbrush on there and turn it on, and for 5 seconds you put it on the stem, and it vibrates, and so it duplicates the vibration that a bee would have within the blossom, and so it pollinates. And he had 100% success rate for every single blossom that he did, and so he had an abundance of tomatoes. Well, I started doing that because he said normally a tomato plant only produces or only will grow 20% of the blossoms that form. And so there's a lot of blossoms that just die off, and especially the ones that come later in the season, they just don't do. So anyway, from August, from early to middle of August on, every single one that I did has been growing, and so all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of tomatoes higher up on the plants, which is kind of making them top heavy and everything right now. But it's been great. It's extending my tomato season and my tomato harvest so much, and it's just awesome. So I know you guys try that next year when you start your tomatoes, or when they're growing for you, and as they blossom, get out there with this little. And I just went and got a super cheap one. I didn't have one, but it was I think I paid $15 for it or something like that. And yeah, you just vibrate it and you just go around the plants and just, and it vibrates that branch or that little leaf in the blossom. It's just so fun. So so Shelly, okay, there's slices, the aromas, you leave the skin on when you dehydrate them. Okay. So Julie, the All-American trays and the Presto trays work for each other. The trays in the canners, I would assume not the dehydrators, right? The canners. Okay, yeah, plum tomatoes. Okay, thanks, Dave. That's what I kind of thought. I mean, with that kind of name, I would think that it's kind of, aroma from Rome, Italy. It's like the Italian San Marzano. Yes, could have the the Roman tomatoes. So okay, so you vacuum seal the jars. Yep. Okay. So you think Q-tips work better? Okay. So I don't know. It's kind of fun just going out there and buzzing each other on. So, but I can see that Q-tips would be. I don't know. I would be thinking that I wouldn't do it right or something. I don't know, but yeah, Robin, go and check out. If you need more information on that or something, go check out Luke at MI Gardener, and it would have been within the first week or two in August. Would have been his video on that. So, yep, Abiding Acres. I'm some of my tomato skins I've started saving after I roast them and everything, so they're like already seasoned up and everything. But so I've just been throwing them in the freezer right now. But I'm going to try to dehydrate some of those and have some powder. Yeah, putting them in soups, even adding them to, if you need more in chili or something like that, whatever you want it. I've heard that helps a lot. Absolutely. So thank you. Farming Our Backyard. Hello. It is. It's so great. It's like made a huge difference. Otherwise, I'll end up getting, half a dozen tomatoes on a plant. It's like frustrating that you have all these plants that aren't producing, but boy, it sure did a great job. So Speaking Italiano. Oh, I have been told that my Spanish has an Italian accent to it, so the canner trays. Okay. Hey, Mary Brown. Hello. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. Yes. So, oh my goodness, that wouldn't take up much room at all. But yeah, having the tomato powder, absolutely. And I've got, a lot of tomatoes yet that are still on the plants and trying to, some are still turning. So I'm going to have to evaluate how many jars I have of sauce and how many I need. So I might take a couple of the tomatoes and do that. I don't have aromas though. Mine are all just like beef steaks, so they might be um, too much gel, too much moisture in them or something to really do that well. Um, so yeah, you guys have some great ideas here too. It's fun to see how everybody um, is preserving their food that they're growing and putting things up, and it's like really great. I really love that. From not only for what your needs are for your food, but how you do things, and who prefers water bath over pressure canning, and then aroma tomato versus a beefsteak tomato, and all these kind of things, and then dehydrating and all these things. It's so great. I love the sharing that we have going on here, and um, how awesome that is. That's so great. You guys are just the best. I really appreciate you coming. I was like, we got 21 people here. That's so awesome. I really appreciate it. So, how is everybody doing right now? Is anybody here that's been affected by um, Hurricane Dorian, or I know there's another one out there, a couple others. Just want to make sure that you have a dehydrator full of onions right now to make powder. I bet your house does smell awesome. Yes. And see, that's something I can always do. I've been curing my onions so that I store them in a bag and everything, but I can always at some point take some of those and dehydrate them and then get onion powder too. Thing is, I do have enough onion powder in storage right now, so I don't need it. So I'd rather have the fresh onions. So I really kind of do things according to what my needs are and like how much I have left in there. But dehydrated yellow tomatoes, ooh. You know what? I think it was Roots and Refuge that was showing about white tomatoes earlier this summer, and I just thought it would be so cool to have white tomatoes and make white tomato sauce, and then put it in something, and people think it's an Alfredo sauce, and all of a sudden they get this tomato flavor. But I don't know how flavorful they are. Has anybody ever grown white tomatoes? I would love to do that. So. Yeah, Christy. Sometimes that happens if you have an abundant year where you're canning everything in sight, and you've got so much on your shelves. The next year you don't need to do as much, or you can do something different. And I really like doing that. Like some years I'll do 2 complete beds of green beans, and I'll have enough for 2 or 3 years, actually. And so then I don't need to take up the bed space for beans again. I can do something else. So I really like rotating things around like that. Unfortunately, some years they just they don't produce enough, so I'm not able um, to put enough away that as much as I planned. Like this year, I was planning on having tons and tons of butternut squash that I could just put up and have enough stacked away for a year or two. I haven't even gotten one squash off my plants. So I don't know if I'm going to try that again next year or not. I would love to, but we'll see. Hmm. So biting acres here in Ontario. Oh, yes, the raccoons and skunks. They're out. Oh my goodness. I know. I've been smelling them out here too. So thank you, Shelley, for coming. I really appreciate that. You have a great evening. Enjoy your dinner. So yeah, and I know that Baker Creek carries the white tomatoes. I'm not sure if anybody else does, but oh yeah, there you go, Julie. So Baker Creek has a cream sausage tomato. Wow. Okay. Oh, Chrissy, Squash Boar's got your butternut squash. So I have never eaten raccoon. I didn't know that you could eat them. You know, kind of think they're like a skunk, you know, like you just the meat wouldn't be good. So um yeah. So white tomatoes, that would be kind of interesting. So Robin, you said you've been doing mad research on microgreen production. You're excited and encouraged about what you've learned. Yeah, I've got some seeds actually to do microgreens. Things have just been crazy this summer, and I think that's going to be more of a winter thing that might be better for me, you know, than to have in the middle of winter when you have the fresh greens. So I think that might be good for me, but I still am kind of like hesitant about fermenting and everything like that. So we'll see. All right. Well, it's going to be a couple minutes before the top of the hour. And I know we've got Stivers coming up next and Big Family Homestead and a number of other people. So I thank you guys so much for coming. I really, really do. So, oh, Chrissy's like making tomato soup with all colors of heirloom tomatoes. That would be so fun. Oh my goodness. Can you see a base of the white tomato like sauce as that with floating with the different colors of tomatoes? With some purples and yellows and reds and oh, that'd be fun. Pink. Um, so anyway, you guys take care and thank you for coming. And I will definitely be here next Monday night. And you guys, I really, really appreciate you. You know, let your friends know about this. I really, really would be grateful. And you guys take care and God bless. Have a great week. Bye bye.